and welcome to One Man's Opinion. Today I am reviewing the Off-Broadway revival of Curse of the Starving Class, written by Sam Shepard, directed by Scott Elliott, running through April 6th at the Romulus Linney Courtyard Theater at the Pershing Square Signature Theater at 480 West 42nd Street in New York City. Help me build this show by becoming a patron over on my Patreon page, where you can, for as little as $1 a month, support my work here as well as my classic cinema podcast, Yesterday's Matinee, where the latest episode on 1929's Un Chien Andalou is currently available exclusively for patrons. Thank you to my current patrons, especially my Neo and Hamilton tier patrons, and welcome to the new ones. A link to my Patreon page as well as my Spotify page will be in the description. Curse of the Starving Class is one of the more brutally dark Sam Shepard plays, a nearly 3-hour tragedy set in the southwest United States in the mid-1970s, following a family spiraling down the perpetual cycle of failure and pipe dreams ready to burst. It stars Calista Flockhart as Ella Tate, the matriarch of the household. She has become morosely apathetic toward life and is secretly trying to sell the house without her husband Weston, played by Christian Slater, not knowing about it. She intends to get a profitable sale of their home and farm property and run away with the kids to Europe. Unbeknownst to her, Weston is also attempting to sell a house for his own purposes involving loan sharks and debt COs. Their two children have their own issues. Their son, Wesley, played by Cooper Hoffman, doesn't want to give up the farm, but also struggles with his father being a raging alcoholic, while adoring him to the point of wanting to emulate him. Their daughter, Emma, played by Stella Marcus, is trying to excel in her 4-H project on how to raise, slaughter, and break down a chicken. She hopes to do well enough in school to get away from her family for good. Of course, nothing good can happen for the family, so when Emma comes on stage for the first time, she checks the refrigerator and the chicken she has prepared is gone. It was cooked by her mom the previous night for dinner, because she forgot why the chicken was there. This is the cursed world the Tates live in, a world where everyone sabotages the other's potential success, either on purpose or just because it's in their nature. They've become so downtrodden that any opportunity that presents itself to them that even implies success is immediately shot down by their own inability to do better for themselves or believe in themselves. Ella keeps telling everyone that they are not the starving class, while the empty refrigerator, which is as much of a character as the humans and the one sheep on stage are, keeps slamming shut like a coffin door, reminding that death is as real a possibility for anybody. Usually it's a rule of thumb when writing plays that you don't have characters have names that sound too similar because it can become confusing, but Shepard shows the exception to the rule here with names like Ella and Emma and Weston and Wesley, which sound so much alike that the names are like self-fulfilling prophecies on the fates of the children. It's a pretty simple premise for a nearly 3-hour play, but Shepard's writing is brilliant and riveting. The asides that all the primary characters have at least once in a play feel natural, like a opening of a door or fourth wall, if you will, for the audience to be literally in the scene for a few moments as the characters engage directly with us to express their deepest truths and are maybe the most honest things they say in the whole play. This is a testament to the cast and Scott Elliott's adept handling of the cast and material. Flockhart's Ella is brutally cynical, but also touched with that last glimmer of hope in that the sale of the house will happen. It's a biting performance. Christian Slater also gives an explosive performance, nailing the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde nature of alcoholism, where when he's drunk, he is monstrously incoherent and violent, and then once he sobers, it's like he's a whole different person, like the great American dad. It makes sense that the children would have psychological issues wanting to hope beyond hope. Whenever their dad is home, he's gotten better and is a good man, while also fearing what may happen when he is intoxicated again. Cooper Hoffman and Stella Marcus are both great, as well as the kids. Marcus exudes the emotional frustration of a growing teenage girl who is mad at the world for fighting her attempts to do better. Hoffman's Wesley is not all that cynical at first. He still believes that the farm could be saved in some capacity and improved. He particularly idolizes his dad and does his best to fill his shoes. It's a great journey that Hoffman takes the character, wanting to believe, but as things deteriorate, we see the fissures start to widen and break. What makes all this depressing storytelling tolerable is the sparkling moments of humor. Sam Shepard, even though he was a brutal playwright, knew how to infuse humor just at the right moment to give it levity, and Elliott knows this and elevates the humor to get the audience to relax for a while. It makes the play a lot more tolerable and allows the darker moments to hit harder. Slater in particular has some fantastically comical moments with the sheep in Act 2 that never distracts the audience from the story. They're funny moments, and Slater manages the unpredictability of an animal on stage with aplomb. The supporting cast is the one real weakness of the play. They're playing hokey stereotypes. The seemingly dorky lawyer with maybe a streak of evil, the gruff bar owner ready to pick a fight with anyone, the oblivious sheriff. More could have been done with them. I'm not saying that Shepard should have had more lines for them. The characters need more delving into and development on the creative side, I think. Like the recent Broadway revival of True West, this production of Curse of the Starving Class has a very busy set. Arnulfo Maldonado does an excellent job with the set design. It feels brutally lived in, and a shout out must be made to property supervisor Jackson Berkley, his team, and production stage manager Valerie A. Peterson, as there are tons of props being thrown around, and the set is a disaster area by the end of the show, and that crew has to clean it all up and reset for start of show for the next performance. As a former stagehand myself, I salute you. Curse of the Starving Class can be a tough watch for some, especially anyone who has a family member who is an alcoholic and has sabotaged the family because of it, experiencing the tragic repercussions that come from such abuse. But Scott Elliott has assembled an overall fantastic cast and handles the story with an expert's touch so that the nearly 3 hours runtime speeds by really quick. It's a fantastic drama, and I encourage everyone to see it. But I am only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you'd like to see Curse of the Starving Class, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get tickets. Also in the description will be links to my Patreon and Spotify pages, as well as my social media handles where you can follow me and support my work. You can also support me by liking and sharing this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell to be alerted to future reviews. My next review will be the Off-Broadway production of Sumo. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the theater.